We're live. Yay! Oh, my thing is knocked over. And we are live on the page because I'm looking over here and there we are. Yay. Okay, hey everybody. I've not done one of these in like forever, but welcome to Soul Shift Stories with Soul Coach Michelle. I'm excited to have my friend Susan Murray here to talk. But first, let me introduce me, and then I'll introduce her in case you're new to both of us. So I'm your host, Soul Coach Michelle, and I help spiritually awoke humans, like those of you watching probably, who might be struggling to stay high vibe and maintain a manifesting mindset in the face of the daily grind so that you can consistently start manifesting the things and the money and the house and the life that you really have always wanted. So today I'm really excited because I have with me my client, my colleague, my friend, Coach Susan Murray. Susan is the founder and coach behind Thrive Beyond, which is a coaching process she developed to help women in their middle years, like me, and maybe you, to create resilience and vitality in their lives. Because, I mean, you know, Susan, I think one of the biggest things that us like women that are like mid to late 40s heading into their 50s, we wake up in the morning, we're like, I used to have 100 zillion, pounds of energy, and now I get up and I'm already like, my knee hurts.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Go ahead.
A phenomenon that happens, it seems like around the age of 40, you go to the doctor, there's some new symptom, and the doctor looks you in the eye and says, what do you expect? You're 40, you're getting older, this happens. And there's nothing you can do about it. I don't believe that.
Right? And that's BS.
Exactly. It's a lie.
I've known you for years and years and years. And like, I think, like last week or something, you posted on your personal feed a side-by-side of you, like what, 4 years ago or something like that?
It would have been, the photo was from 6 years ago, but I was at least that size, if not bigger, 5 years ago.
Okay, so like we'll just give it in, like if this would be the side-by-side, me and then you. Because I
never had your gray hair.
Oh. We all have our benefits.
Yeah.
But, the work that you have done, it's not just something just that lip service. You actually live this lifestyle, which I really, really think is great. And your messaging about it right now is so clear and so precise in your marketing and in, reaching out to women like me and you who do want to have that healthy, balanced lifestyle, but nobody, like you said, it's like you go to the doctor who you think is supposed to help you. And yeah, doctors are great and there is a place for them, but in an everyday daily life, there are things you can do. And you're so super clear on that messaging. And the other thing about that is, though, I've known you for several years and you were not always super clear on that messaging. So, what has happened? All of a sudden in like the last year or so, it's been like, here's Susan. So what happened?
I was doing a lot of shoulding. I had an experience years ago when my daughter had gone through cancer, and I helped her to thrive beyond the treatment and through the cancer. And I wrote a book about it. And then I think I just decided that I should help other people who were going through cancer. And in reality, in truth, I never wanted to. It always felt like I should. Mm-hmm. And I think moving beyond that, accepting that the gifts that I have to offer need to be wrapped around I want, instead of I should.
Oh, heck yeah. And I think it was like just from being like your friend and a coach and a colleague looking in from the outside, it was almost like, well, I helped my daughter. Mm-hmm. So maybe this is my calling to help other people who are in a similar situation. When your heart actually, whenever we would chat, was more surrounding the idea of, I want to help people find their balance and wellness before they get to that point where cancer isn't what I'm trying to help them get through, but rather avoid.
That's exactly
I want to help them be balanced and well in their lifestyle so they don't have to get to that point, which would be the wake up call, maybe to turn to holistic practices in addition to Western medicine.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It really does feel it feels like a weight is off to have reached that and made that shift, made that that pivot. Yeah. It's exciting.
And I'm excited for you because like all the stuff that I'm seeing you do right now, like every time I see you post on social media or we chat or whatever, it's almost like your entire energy has shifted. There's like this joy instead of like, I'm trying to climb Mount Everest, you know? Yeah.
I'm glad that shows because that's how I feel.
Yeah, it does show. Oh my gosh, it shows. So let's kind of harken back because you were my client at some point in the back before we were like friends and so colleagues and our family and your family, kind of like when we visit each other and stuff like that. Right. But there was a time where it was like, well, who's Michelle? Who's Susan? So in that, going back to that journey, what made you consider looking for a coach, a soul coach, or a soul alignment kind of person to help you along?
In all honesty, I wasn't looking for that. I didn't deliberately set out to find a soul coach. But then I met you and I learned about you and what you do. And I was immediately hooked. I was very intrigued. And so you really drew me in and you showed me, you know, you could use this.
I'm like, come here, Susan. And from that experience, you know, what were you able to do in your life and stuff after we had been working together?
I have found a new confidence and a stronger voice and presence than I had ever imagined I would have. Mm-hmm. And so your coaching has helped me recognize the value of who I am and the unique way that I can help other people. Yeah. So I've learned that the only way that I can be of service and to really help others is to step into my vulnerability, which is really scary. Mm-hmm. I am an introvert's introvert. And so that it feels huge. It's a huge, huge risk. But I am really learning that the bigger the risk, the bigger the benefits, that the rewards that come with that.
Yeah. And I mean, I think just like we were talking earlier about that shift of you kind of focusing on what you thought you should do. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you had to be vulnerable with yourself and get really real too. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that vulnerability, as scary as it is, mm-hmm. I think that's a huge secret in stepping into that and embracing it and allowing it to be. That really helps to propel us forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and here's the funny thing. So you much like, and I spoke with Jackie a couple of weeks ago, and her soul shift story is up on YouTube at the moment. But you and her are one of the few people that had gone through my group stuff like at an extended rate. Like you guys hung around for quite some time.
Yeah.
So as being part of a group, what was your favorite part of being, because you and I have done one-on-one stuff too, but what was your favorite part about being part of a group rather than in a one-on-one setting?
There is an energy, a synergistic energy that all of us brought to that. And it really was, I have described it in the past as being magical. And it really is. It's this magical energy where we can empathize with each other, support each other, help each other make new discoveries. And And it really is a different dynamic than a one-on-one type of situation. I think that it's a very rich and enriching dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like it's like more heads are better than one. So yes, I'm the coach, but like even like having you there, yeah, you were there so that you could receive some support and stuff. But the fact was that I knowing you and knowing how like you love being of service to people and you love supporting others and loving on others, that it almost was fulfilling on both ends of that spectrum, do you think? Because you were able to support and also get support.
Yes, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for, I'm not going to pronounce it, reciprocity.
Reciprocity. One word that I know. It's one word I know. I always screw up other words.
Reciprocity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is reciprocity and synergy. Those are the
These
two
are all the hard words today, Susan.
I know, but they're very apropos. They are very explain well what happens in a group setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you think back and you think about when you were in the group and all the stuff that was going on and just your experience in general, what is like one big takeaway that you had when we were all working together that you can share that has really taken hold in your life right now?
I really appreciate how you practice what I think of as practical manifesting. So I think I told you at one point that I'm not particularly comfortable with the concept of attraction as a law. I tend to be analytical, and I like to see evidence. And I can totally wrap my head around attraction as a principle. So the principle of attraction. And I like how you approach attraction and manifesting as being a result of so much more than just magical thinking or wishful thinking. In fact, I remember you saying something, I may get this quotation wrong, but something to the point of that universe isn't your personal vending machine. and that is absolutely true. And so yes, we need to put out the intention and the feeling that the intention is already being manifested. And that is a big part of the equation. But another equally big part is rolling up our sleeves and putting in the sweat equity and doing the work and looking for opportunities and being open to the opportunities. And to me, that is the big thing that the universe offers, is the doors, the opening of the doors and the opportunities, that when we are connected with spirit and our soul is thriving, then we can be open to those doors. And that's where the manifesting magic happens. And yeah, being open, being free to walk through the door. When we go through life and not have that connection, then we miss those opportunities. But you know, I do think that a lot of law of attraction leaders miss the boat on this, that they ignore the importance of working toward a dream. And that doesn't mean, it doesn't take away what universe and spirit do. It doesn't make that less valid. I think that what it does is to give us the opportunity to work in partnership with the universe so that we can really, truly become co-creators.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's what I teach. So when you start talking, I was like, oh, yes, Susan, go, girl. Yes, preach, sister, because that is so true. I mean, you and I both kind of hang around in manifesting groups and see people talking about stuff. And it's like you write it down 55 times for 5 days, and all of a sudden something's supposed to happen, that you made a wish on a star and crossed your fingers and threw salt over your shoulder, and boom, you're supposed to have a porch in the driveway. And that's not how this shit works. Co-creation isn't about thinking your job is to write down what you want. And then, like you said, it's not a vending machine where you put your quarter in and you just pull the thing and a candy bar comes out. You actually have to, like, how did you get the quarter to go put in the vending machine? And I'm not trying to say, to buy into the Protestant work ethic either. But what I am saying is there is effort on our side that it's an investment in self, investment in what you want, investment in when, like you said, there's an opportunity. So even if it's looking for a job, that if you're looking for a new career and you get an email from, say, Indeed or something, and it's got the title that you want, sitting there and waiting for the universe to just have somebody have this epiphany to call you, as opposed to applying for the job because the universe presented. Because it's like, hey, here, I'm presenting you an opportunity. Do you have skin in the game too?
Exactly.
So I think and when we talk about co-creation, if we're going to say co-creation is writing lines like we did in grammar school, as opposed to actually doing your inspired action you're called to do, that's the difference. That's real co-creation. When we really are kind of like, I drive in my lane, let the universe drive in their lane, and things happen. Because I think even your transformation from where you were in the shoulding to now, because it was almost like, let me ask you this, when you were in that should time frame in your life, were you kind of like, I gotta make this happen, I gotta make this happen, I gotta make this happen?
Yeah, clenching comes to mind.
I hate to put it that way, but yeah.
And you know that when I made my decision to release my former focus, it wasn't a result of the clenching and that it was literally a letting go. It was breathing. And just breathing and allowing, releasing that old and making room for something that I think is so much more exciting and fun, and it's so much more in tune with me.
And when you think about the clients that you're attracting now, and I don't use that word unknowingly, that you're attracting now, are they more the kinds of folks that you want to work with? Are they like, I always say, including you in this, I learned I know people show up thinking, oh, I'm going to learn from my coach. But the thing that I love about it is I learn just as much from my clients. Like, I've learned so much from you. And so when you were doing it before, it was more like arduous, but now when the people you're attracting, is it more fun and kind of reciprocal and just flowing?
It is. That's exactly it. And that all of a sudden, the people who are really looking for this magic are there.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. So my last question before we kind of wind down a little bit is, what do you feel you learned about you? What do you feel you learned about Susan in the process of us working together?
Well, if you remember way back, I absolutely was certain that there was not an intuitive bone in my body.
I do remember.
Yes. In fact, I think that was one of the first things that I told you, is that, I'm not intuitive. That's just not, that passed me by.
Lies, all lies.
Another lie. And in reality, now I understand that intuition, like our bodies, need to be exercised and toned, that our intuition is the same way. And so that's been really fun, is to become awakened to my intuition and to be trusting it and nurturing it. That's really exciting, because intuition is really an important tool in this manifesting journey. Who'd have thought?
I think one of our first conversations was, I don't think I remember because, and y'all, if you have a chance to ever hear Susan sing, if she ever blesses us, she did bless people in a private group that we were both in at one point. You sang, I think, because I did that meditation with the prayer of Francis from Assisi.
Yeah.
And that inspired you to sing the song, which I was like, I totally had forgot that even existed until you got, and she's a ukulele player. So she's a wonderful ukulele. And and your soprano is so gorgeous. And, I used to be a vocal coach, so I'm biased and I'm a snob. And so we're all sitting there in the group crying and she's playing because it's so beautiful. But, and I remember you saying to me, oh, in my family, my sister was the intuitive one. I got the singing and she didn't get that. But now you know way better that you are both musically and intuitively inclined. Yeah. I just thought this was so great. Thank you so much for sharing your story today, Susan, and sharing it with everybody. And you guys, if Susan's story of transformation resonates with you and you want the same soul nourishing transformation for yourself so you can start manifesting your dream life, get aligned, get clear, and go out there and do the things you want to do, I would welcome you to check out my High Vibe Inner Circle group coaching membership using the link that I'm going to put in the post. And actually, I think I can put it up here. Can I do that? I guess. Wait, no, I can't because I have your stuff here. That's okay. I'll put it in the post. It's all over actually my page. So anyways, I'll put the link in the post here when I update it. And Susan has actually graciously offered to a gift of her own. So Susan, do you want to share what that gift is and how it might help the women to read?
Yeah, this is fun. 3 stupid, easy things, and I mean stupid, easy things you can do today to add more life to your years instead of more years to your life. And I won't tell you anything other than that. Get it? And then the email sequence you get after that is loaded with more freebies. It's this kind of thing just sends electric through me. I get so excited because there are such easy things that we can do every day that really do improve our health and help us age agelessly.
And I'll tell you this, Susan loves her work. And again, like I said, I've known her for years and years and years. And I always joke, and I don't want to discourage anybody. I always say, go see your doctor. It's always the best thing. But knowing Susan as I do, she knows more in her little pinky than most like holistic people that I have encountered, because she is, and it's all like you are self-taught 100%. Like your degrees are in education, but you took that knowledge and educated yourself how to do all this stuff, plus your life experience with your daughter. And guys, if you want to read more about her story and her daughter Laura's journey through cancer and recovery, it's in her book called Walking on the Ceiling, which is available on Amazon, right? I mean, you guys, I got to read the book before it got published, and oh my Lord, like the journey is heartbreaking and inspiring all at the same time. And your writing skill set is just amazing. You can tell that you were like a grammar English major. English major. But like, the way, and guys, by the way, her book also, like the way it shifts between, I think there's like the blog posting thing, like where there's, a blog that happened when you guys were going through this experience, where you would post information to keep friends and family abreast of things going on, and she would too. And so the perspectives are really interesting too. So, just everything that you have to offer is just so amazing. But guys, here's the link. I'm going to put this, like when we get off here, I'll go and update the post that goes with this video so that it has all the links for checking out my manifesting membership, as well as Susan's freebie, and how to get in touch with her as well. If you are someone who is in your middle years as a woman and is like, why am I so freaking tired all the time? And you want to get your energy back. This right here, how do I do this? That way. It's like weather, people. How do I There. That's it. Susan right here. Isn't that awful? I'm so uncoordinated normally, and to do everything in reverse is nuts. But Susan right here is who you need to talk to. So if that's your jam, talk to Susan. If her story of her journey of getting from A to B is inspiring you, just come on over and check out the membership, and you too can have that kind of journey too. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me today, Susan.
And thank you, Michelle.
I love you, girlfriend.
I love you too.
And thank you guys for watching. I will be back soon with another soul shift story to inspire you to manifest your dream life. Thanks, and until then, I'll see you in the vortex. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
How do I turn it off? Oh, here we go. Bye, y'all.